Fight fans, I'm that boxing writer, Jeremy C. Herriges, joined today by undefeated welterweight Xander Zayas, who's 4-0, three knockouts, looking like he's in shape and healthy and ready to go. Xander, how you been?
Man, I've been great. After all this happened, I've continued to work, continue to stay focused, stay healthy, and just enjoying time with the family as much as I
Mm-hmm.
can.
Now, obviously, with all the craziness going on in the world, with the coronavirus pandemic happening, shutting everything down, it's impacted everybody in all sorts of different ways. What have been the biggest impacts on your life, and how have you been dealing with that?
I think the biggest impact this pandemic has had on my life, it was stopping kind of like my career once it started like going,
Mm-hmm.
because I started fighting in October and I was fighting every other month. And I think that's something that really kind of stopped, and I really wanted to continue going. But
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. We can't do anything about it. We just have to stay focused, stay healthy, and just stay strong.
Mm-hmm. Now, for those of the people that don't know the details of your rise through boxing, I mean, you're very young. You're 17 years old. You signed your pro contract when you were 16, and you've had a good amount of fights in a short period of time.
So
You were the last time we talked 6 months ago. You were talking about how you were being homeschooled at the moment while you were concentrating on fighting, but you were talking about that your plan was to return to Plantation High School. Was that originally still the plan?
no, I mean, after my first fight, it kind of changed everything. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it was better for me to stay in homeschool. I was still going to be able to graduate with my school and go to prom and do all those nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I mean, my school worked really really nice with me, and they gave me the chance to do all those stuff without attending to the school.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was best for me to stay in homeschool. So I'm finishing homeschool now. I got like 3 classes left. So I'm ready to graduate and ready to you know, get out of high school and see what the future holds.
Mm-hmm. And what has that been like? Have you been doing an e-learning program and things of that nature? Kind of talk about that experience a little bit.
So it's an online program. You
Mm-hmm.
do you do your work every week. You have to turn each amount of work for each class every week, and
Mm-hmm.
they have great communication with my parents. When we do tests, we do it over the phone, kind of review the lesson, and then
Mm-hmm.
they give me like a real test in the computer. But it's very very easy. I mean, I like it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
home. I get to train even more. So I think everything is working out perfectly.
Obviously, you're talking about that kind of senior experience, even though you were still being homeschooled. Prom, things of that nature. I'm sure it's kind of a bummer to you that you're going to be missing out on those things, and if
Yeah.
you've been talking to your friends at school, kind of them missing out too. How has that kind of affected you and your friends, and how have you guys stayed optimistic throughout all of that?
I mean, I think it hasn't affected me like he hasn't affected me really bad, because
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't I wasn't too excited to like go to prom, or I was
Mm-hmm.
excited to graduate and get out of high school, and it's like finish high school so I can continue my boxing career and then go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't that much of it wasn't that much of an excitement or that much of a turn off. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my friends my friends are doing really not really great. They all healthy, and that's the most important part. Every time I talk to them, they're happy. They look healthy, and I mean, obviously we wanted to go to prom, we wanted to have fun, dance a little bit, but it's part of what we have to live in these days right now. So we just got to stay healthy and be the best we can be each and every day.
And obviously, with everything that's been closed down, gyms, health facilities have been hit hard by this. How have you been staying in shape despite the fact that these closures have occurred? What have you been doing, and what's maybe like your training regimen been like lately?
Yeah, so I'm going to my coach's house. My coach house is like 15 minutes away from me, so I go there with my dad every day, and we train
Mm-hmm.
from like 5 to 6:37. So we get a good 2 hours, hour and a half. We get a good training, a good sweat in, and sometimes when I don't have the time to go, or my coach is busy, or my dad is busy, I just train here at home. My coach sent me the
Hmm.
workout, and I just I hit everything I got to do here in my garage, and I just try to stay focused and try to stay, again, just as focused as I can, as healthy as I can.
Hmm. Obviously, you're with Top Rank, coached by Javier Centeno, and it's been a great pairing so far. I mean, you've had 4 fights in a pretty quick amount of time. Obviously, we probably would have seen you again had this not
Yes,
occurred.
yes,
Bob Arum just talked recently about how in June, he's saying, hey, we could have, 3 to 4 events per week, obviously with no audience, maybe
yeah.
toned down, not a whole fight card. Has he been in contact with you, or Top Rank been in contact with you about what the future is going to hold for you in the immediate future? And are there any fights maybe going to be occurring sooner rather than later?
Well, right now my manager is working all that with Top Rank. They've been in contact, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, once they set everything up and they're ready to go, I know I'm ready to go. And whenever they give me a call, I'll be more than ready, more than happy to go out there and perform and put on a show, because ESPN is gonna still around and people will be able to watch me. So I'm just ready to get that call and go out there and put on a show.
Obviously, we're all trying to imagine what the future of boxing, at least within the upcoming months, is going to be like. What is it going to look like? Is it, again, the whole idea of fighting in front of no audience other than maybe
Yeah.
some cameramans and some boxing journalists like me? Mentally, would that impact you in any way, or would it be odd to you, or kind of how do you envision that occurring?
I mean, it wouldn't be odd or like a surprise, or it wouldn't affect me in the mental game, because in the amateurs we didn't have a big crowd either. It was
Mm-hmm.
20, 30 people when they wanted to
Mm-hmm.
show up, so it wasn't that big of a crowd. So I wouldn't say it will affect me, as long as I put on a show and I listen to my corner, and I know my fans will tune in to ESPN Plus and they will support me. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, ready to put on a show, and I don't think it will affect me in any way. And I'm just ready. I'm just ready to go.
Kind of outside of boxing, one of the main things that I really admire about you, your maturity beyond your years. You're a young guy, but you don't act like you're 17 years
Hey,
old.
thank you, thank you.
Um, oh, no problem. And then looking at what you've been doing recently on Instagram, you had a video that came out, an anti-bullying campaign,
Yes.
which had some phenomenal major stars surrounding you in that message. Maybe kind of talk about how that got put together. Were you the driving force through that, or were you asked to take part in it? How did that occur?
Yes, I was a driving force. My dad came up with the idea,
Mm-hmm.
and I told him that's a great idea. I mean, I was a victim of bullying once, and it would be awesome if we can get a lot of people, people that other people look up to, and they can actually send a message to. So we
Mm-hmm.
we just started talking and started talking to people here and there, and perfecting athletes. They helped me a lot with a lot of the boxers. Um, Also, Gardy, he works with Top Rank. He's a PR for Top Rank. He also helped me with a lot of the boxers. The NB, Udani Haslam, he trains with me here in Florida. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really close with him. So I spoke to him. Carlos Correa, I spoke to him too. I spoke to a lot of the guys, but also Perfecting Athlete and Gardy, they helped me. Gardy Lopez, they helped me a lot with all the stars that were in the video.
How much does that mean to you that these major superstars across boxing, basketball, NFL, that they came up and they really joined in with you? How much did that mean to you that they reached out
Man,
and they were willing to help you?
Man, it meant the world. It meant the world. Again, I know I wasn't the only one in that video that was a victim of bullet once,
Mm-hmm.
and it was great that I have that those type of people in there, the people that
Mm-hmm.
other people look up to send a message, a good message, with good vibes, just trying to stop bullying, trying to stop something that is not right, and
Mm-hmm.
it meant the world. I was really, really happy, really, really grateful, and man, if I see them right now, right here in person in front of me, I will hug them and tell them how much thankful how thankful I am because of everything they did and how they accepted. They didn't say no, let me see what I have. No, they said yes right away. So I'm really
Mm-hmm.
really grateful for that.
And I know we when we last talked 6 months ago for fansided.com, I had an interview kind of introducing you to fight audiences. And one of the things that we did talk about was kind of like the past in bullying for people that may be watching this. What was that experience like? Talk about how it came about and how it impacted you, maybe even until this day that you remember it and kind of the lasting effect that it's had.
What was the question again? I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. Maybe talk a little bit about your past, how bullying came apart into it, and also how has it impacted you even today to this point?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I started boxing when I was 5 years old. Before that, I
Mm-hmm.
was being a victim of bullying by a guy in my neighborhood. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't want to go out and play. I didn't want to go out and do anything because I was being abused. So my mom decided to put me in boxing just to know how to defend myself. It was never to, compete in a high level, to compete in a
Mm-hmm.
professional level, in an amateur level, or anything like that. It was just to learn how to defend myself. And my first coach in Puerto Rico, she told my mom, hey, the kid has the talent. Let's fight him once at least. Let's see what he got. And
Mm-hmm.
I went into that fight. I won the first fight, and then I won 20 consecutive fights, no, without losing. And I went to my first national, and then my first national, I lost my first national, and I was disappointed because I'm like, man, I trained so hard and I lost. And my trainer just told me, hey, keep your head up. This is just the beginning. Let's go. And then the next year we went back, and I got second place and I was so mad. And then I went the third year and I got the first place. And then the fourth year I got the first place again. So I got like 3 times in consecutive years first place. And at that point I knew it was something that I love. It was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, this is what I want to do. But again, I was 10 years old, 11. She was like, that will pass. That will pass eventually. That's just a dream that he sees now. And then, when I turned 16 and I won my last national in 2018, and we get that call from Top Rank, I told my mom, this is it. This is what I worked for, and it's happening. And do you accept me being a professional fighter? And she's like, hey, if that's your dream, if that's what you want to do for the rest of your life, I'm
Mm-hmm.
all in with you. And so, I mean, it's been a great journey from day one. My dad, Orlando Garcia, my mom, Jaitza, my coach, Javier, they've been my manager, Peter Kant, they've been great people to have around because they've shown me a lot and I have learned a lot from all of them. And one thing I can tell you is they've shown me to never give up and to always work for my dreams. And so that's what I've been doing my whole life.
As far as, again, looking at this video and the impact that it's immediately having, that people are paying attention to it, and that you had so many people come on board with you, do you see this as something continuing, a message that you continue to promote, maybe growing into something bigger?
Yes. I will most definitely keep this message going because it's a message that needs to get to people, and people needs to
Mm-hmm.
understand what it means, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand the message, and they just like scroll without without reading or watching the message. So I think it's
Mm-hmm.
something that I will really focus on throughout my career, because I don't want nobody else to lose their life because of bullying, or
Mm-hmm.
be a victim of bullying. I don't like it. I don't promote it, and I promise I will work my way to get that goal.
It's great stuff, Xander. I appreciate everything that you're doing, and thank you so much for taking the time and
And
talking
thank
to me
you.
today.
Thank you. It was
Have a good one.
great. Hopefully we can do it again.
I appreciate it. Have a good one,
Yes,
Xander.
sir. You too.